Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing some battles with Galarian Slowbro, which recently did get buffed with the Community Day move of Surf. And into this first match we have a very good match right here. We got into Galarian Rapidash, which is where this Pokemon really excels. If you get into the fairy types, they just get absolutely destroyed. Now I made a bit of a misplay. If you're going to go in for this Bruxish mirror match, you need to go in straight away because that debuff does a lot of things to you. It's kind of tough to deal with. And in comes their Rapidash. Now at this point I realise they're not the whole way up to the high horsepower, so I can happily let that body slam go. And at this point I'm in a pretty good position, I'm ahead on energy, and yeah, I can just reach this next body slam. We'll see what the opponent wants to do here, and yeah, hopefully they actually do decide to shield it, which is interesting. So I decided we're coming in with Slowbro here just to go for the big farm down. I thought that this could have been a stronger move, and this Pokemon, you know, can't really take a hit, so yeah, we'll go for a Surf here against the Malamar. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy your Community Day. You can get these Pokemon, these Galarian versions, by equipping them as your body and catching 30 Psychic types, which is basically Slowpokes. Catch your Slowpokes with them as your body. To be honest with you guys, if you had to prioritize one or the other, Slowking or Slowbro, let's say you've got good IVs for both of them, they actually have slightly different sort of, you know, weightings and stuff like that, so good IVs for one's not necessarily good IVs for the other, but definitely try to get a good IV Slowking. Slowbro is good, and I do like it, but I think Slowking is definitely a lot better, because if you don't really get up against the fairy type with this Pokemon, it can be kind of rough for you, and to be honest with you, like, if you come up against Rapidash, which has been running high horsepower quite a lot, that thing can basically one-shot you as well, so it is such a rough one. It only has a very, very niche play in this meta, I feel like. It does take out some Pokemon quite well, but overall, I didn't find it, like, super amazing. To be fair, I won a decent amount of leads with it, and the opponent actually stayed in here. I tried to catch a Surf on the Bruxish, and by the way guys, if you haven't already, drop a like and drop a sub on the channel as well, if you're enjoying the content here so far. The opponent has farmed me down, so maybe a bit of a misplay, but I decided I'll come in and just go straight for the Surf, which will just about take out the Slowbro, which it does. And in comes the Malamar, and it is definitely matchups like this which are a little bit rough. With the Slowbro and Slowking Community Day here, everybody's going to be running Malamar. That's basically all I've seen all evening. Everybody, almost everybody I'm running into is using this Pokemon, so it's kind of tough at the minute. It's sort of like I'm either running into Malamar or the odd Charmer. You know, it's kind of, the meta's got a little bit more funny now, so but I think as generally like an anti-charm, I think I definitely prefer Victini, just because it has so much play across the board. You're not really relying on that fast move pressure with Poison Jab. I think I do prefer the, you know, the spamminess of Victini as opposed to the, you know, of course the heavy damage with the Slowbro. We're into this mirror match. I think we're ahead on energy here as well, yeah. So we're just going to go for a body slam. I pretty much went about even with this team. I'm going to show like most of the wins. Right here, I decided to go for the swap out because I know the Malamar has a move, so I thought the opponent might try to go for the snipe, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for me. You know, the Malamar had a move anyway, so maybe I was going to lose that match no matter what, but yeah, I tried to sort of make some sort of use out of my Slowbro there, try to use it as a third shield, but unfortunately the opponent decided not to do that, and they got off the body slam, so GG's to the opponent right there. Yeah, so this Pokemon is definitely good, and I think Galarian Slowbro and Slowking in future metas will definitely have some very like niche plays. So these Pokemon I think are both definitely well worth getting. And if you guys play factions or anything, I think they're going to be pretty good for some like limited formats. Definitely go out and get these. I got some very good IVs, so I'm pretty happy with what I got so far. And yeah, let's hop into this next match, see what we can do with it. Like I said, I went pretty positive with it. I think if I went fairly even, like maybe slightly positive. So here's an interesting matchup you're going to see maybe a few times. So Victini, you have to remember that your Pokemon's not a water type, alright? So even though it's Slowbro, it's not a water type. I go straight for this. And what I decide to do is I'm going to farm up till I reach 2 and try to catch one on my Bruxish, which I do manage to do. The opponent fires it off, and it does a lot of damage still, but they come in with the Rapidash right here. We're doing a decent amount of damage with this thing, and the opponent does decide to throw a body slam before we get it much lower. So I come in for an interesting play here. You would think Slowbro is the obvious play, right? But the way I was looking at it is Slowbro with the Surf can do really well against Victini, with shields down. So I decided to come in with my Rapidash and go for a body slam here just to try and get the last shield or take it out. And at this point we have a 2-to-1 shield advantage. And yeah, the opponent actually top lefts right there. I reckon they had another Charmer in the back. If I had to guess, I would say they probably had a Gardevoir in the back. And at that point I was up 2-to-1 shields. And of course they had a V-Crate loaded, which would one-shot the Rapidash. But then I could shield and make it awkward for them. So they probably were just super weak to Slowbro in the back. And they're super weak to Slowbro in the front here. And I'm like, why are you staying in here, bro? So I decided, alright, let me just safe switch into my big beautiful fish here and just absolutely eat that. Or just that one's just taking one for the team right here. And I know this is only a body slam, but I'm just predicting that they're really weak to this thing. The way they stayed in here, I threw the surf, which is super unfortunate. A pretty bad CMP right there, but in comes a Victini, so yeah, it is pretty weak to it. So I'm gonna wait and obviously throw off here. Now we reach the surfs in 6, but it takes them 5 to get to the V creates. So at this point I'm like, right, I am probably just gonna double shield this thing. The opponent goes for 1 V create. I go for a surf, and let's see, does this take us out here? Okay, it just about doesn't. So we actually get off our surf, and of course the opponent doesn't get a move through here, and we get the insta swap here, and we can reach the body slam before they're able to reach another move here. So this worked out absolutely perfectly. I could just tell that they were weak in the back, and let's see what it is. It is a Gardevoir, so this is going to get very close. Can we get the high horsepower? We just about do get it. We were 1 charm off. Always commit to that high horsepower, guys, if you're in that matchup. You can see how close it got, but the body slam wouldn't take it out unless it's like pretty much below half health or whatever. So you do need to commit to that bigger move, I think. Body slam, I think it does maybe like 60-65% if I had to guess, but of course it would depend on IVs there. And in comes another Victini. So sometimes I like to throw straight away, and other times to build up to 10. So what I decided to do here is throw, because I see that they're building up to the back-to-back here. And once they build up to 10, I'll catch on the Victini, or catch on the Bruxish. Which again, it does a ton of damage, but they throw the Psychic, which is interesting because of course that would be neutral damage. So very, very interesting play by the opponent. They actually allow us to get up to this Aqua Tail. And again, Malamar is just such a problem for this team, so I want to get off the damage instead of getting off the debuff. So I think that was a little bit better right there. The opponent does foul play us, but it puts us in a position where we can come in. We've got a shield advantage, we can shield if we need to. And the opponent actually just throws this straight off right here. So I don't have to shield this, and I do let it go. Now the opponent farmed up an absolute ton, and they were just about 1 off there. They were either 1 or 2 off a foul play. They might have just reached it there as I threw the move. And yeah, in comes a Victini. So I think at this point I'm like, right, we're just gonna put this on the bro, like just pray and hope in the back that there's something, and it's a bloody Claydol. It's a bloody Claydol, folks. Claydol's probably just about the roughest Pokemon for the bros. That poison typing, it just allows this thing to shred for you, and I'm going down with 2 shields here, which is so unfortunate. I just threw the surf because I wanted to see how much damage it does. And it does a decent amount of damage. You know, if maybe 2 surfs plus poison jabs in a sort of more drawn out match would take it out, but of course, like, you know, those mud shots or mud slaps, not even the mud shots, the mud slaps take you out. Stupid Claydol. You stupid mud and your clay and your doll. We've got a Victini here, let's see what we're going to do. This match goes differently every time, so like the opponent throws here. So I do decide to shield this up, take switch advantage basically, and the opponent comes in with a Bronzong. I stay in here way too long and throw a surf, which is just like, I don't know why I don't just come into Bruxish in that matchup. Sometimes when I'm playing these, I don't really know what to come in with at times. I do eventually come in with Brux, and it's like, okay, well, I'll have to shield my fish now. But it's not the complete end of the world, because this thing does pretty well against Victini, but we are down 2 shields, which is so tough. In comes Rapidash. I just throw the Psychic Fang straight away, just banking on the fact that they'll probably shield anything at this point, and we do get the defense fill. And look at this, this Rapidash is trying to farm up just an absolute power plant full of energy here, and it is going to start throwing off body slams here. So at this stage I'm like, do I come in and just get my... Yeah, so I actually come in with my own Rapidash, because I knew that it could throw the high horsepower. So that's what I decided to do there. And then I come in with my Slowbro and go for the surf on this. So this match is going to be very, very close. The opponent has a ton of energy, and the Victini is just about to get to the move here. So this is pretty close. This is working out as close as I can make it here. Can I get to the body slam in time here? The opponent gets to a V create. Is this going to take us out from here? It just about doesn't. I farm it down, but I'm 1 off a body slam, and the opponent already has it loaded, so just super unfortunate right there. I needed to basically farm it down and win CMP. So I tried to maneuver my way around that one, but that was just so tough, unfortunately. And My Little Pony is in the lead, and they do swap straight out, and they swap into the Slowking. So Bruxish does really well against Slowking, and we make a nice swap in good timing. I'm not staying in for too long like I did last game. That's pretty much what cost last game, guys, staying in that long, like that really cost me there. So you do need to make your swaps very quick. They throw off a surf, I call the bait, which is beautiful, and I farm it all the way down. I call the bait, and they only could get to another surf, basically, so it takes 4 and then 3 to get to the surf. So in comes Rapidash right here, and we're just going to throw off the Psychic Fangs right here, and we might actually be able to get to another move here. Bruxish actually coming in clutch. The Fairy Wind's not the strongest farm down move, and the opponent is forced to shield it. And at this point, they're debuffed. I probably could have just threw the fangs there, but I don't mind getting a little bit of extra energy. but I do know the opponent has a ton of energy right here as well. I shield the high horsepower, which is brutal for the opponent. And in comes their own Slowbro. Now their Galarian Rapidash is super low in the back, and yeah, you know, they've got a shield, so we're gonna have to make some plays here. Try to sort of dance our way around this a little bit. Hoping the opponent, they don't know we've got the Rapidash in the back yet, so I'm kind of happy at this point that the opponent's letting these go. And they go for the Surf, and at this point I'm going to force it to throw another Surf, then come in and go for the aggro farm down. This is going to be, you've seen the fairy one before, this is going to be so tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it took 5. The opponent reaches a Surf in 6, and they might have actually been like, nah, there would have been just one off right there. We get off the body slam on this. Can we reach another one? We just about reach it. We literally just about reach it. These matches today were super close, and you know, definitely a lot of fun to win the matches, but I had a lot of close losses as well. So we have a little bit of bro and bro action right here, and I might try to go for the catch on the Surf again this time. And you know, I was like, oh, these people just don't throw. Like, why you no throw, Surf? Why you no throw? In comes Malamar, which again is a bit of an issue, and they actually throw as well, which is like, oh dude, like you're destroying me here. Just stop, please, just stop. So at this stage I'm like, okay, you know, this is not too bad. I've got a Galarian Rapidash. Malamar is a bit of a problem, but we can, you know, just go for body slams with Rapidash, and hopefully get like a little bit of energy on the other side as well. They let that go, which is perfect. So I should be able to shield and farm down right here. Again, I can't eat it, but I do decide to keep some health on the Galarian Rapidash. I think that was a CMP tie, or they were just one off it right there. I'm pretty sure that was a CMP. And in comes their Slowbro, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to try and do something here. So we catch the Surf. What I hoped was a Sludge Bomb, but it is a Surf. I actually miscounted. They only farmed up to 6 right there, I think. We throw off the Surf right here, which does actually a lot of damage. And we get off another one because we're so far ahead in energy, which is beautiful. The opponent basically has to shield this, but they let it go. And in comes Victini, so they're saving both the shields for this thing. And we do get off a Surf on this as well. And at this point, let's see what we can do here. We've got a Rapidash with 2 shields, and they're just farming up, like I said, just an absolute ton of energy. We already have a ton of energy on our Rapidash, and yeah, I realize at this point, they're at the back-to-back. There's no way for me to win that, unfortunately, and GG's to the opponent there. So Bro into Malamar right here. Let's see what we decide to do. So yeah, we swap into the Bruxish and Rapidash. Like Rapidash is your best option for this Pokemon, so try to sort of make that alignment. Now this is not the end of the world. I actually farm up extra to make them think I'm going for Crunch. Some mad lads are running Crunch right here, and at this point, where do you see the Slowbro come in? Slowbro is just going to absolutely feast on this thing. That's the beauty of it. Again, I feel like this Pokemon is a little bit limiting, because Surf it's an okay move. It doesn't hit anything for super effective really. Like it does hit Claydol, but we do catch here as well, which would be a foul play. I decide I want to keep this alive in the back, and we can get off a Body Slam, which is beautiful here. We'll see if the opponent wants to shield, and you know, they just let it go. So in comes their Slowbro, and at this point I'm up a shield, and I'm basically at a Surf, and I think I just won CMP tie right there as well. So at this point, we're pretty close on health here actually, so we'll see who gets to the yellow first. This is either going to be another very close win or a very close loss. Yeah, so we're basically even Stevens right here, but I do win CMP, and the opponent's hitting the yellow first. So pretty much like there's no way for the opponent to win here, unless we can get a Simul KO. That's pretty much the opponent's only hope here. So let's see how close this gets. Yeah, so we survived it with a little bit more health, but look how close this is. It is super close. So yeah guys, in this current meta with the slows, you definitely don't want to be running Charm. I did run the Pony just because it has so much play across the board, but Gardevoir is a big no-no at this stage. I would say like running Claydol and stuff that counters the Bros would be a good call. You know, like a Steel type, like Metagross. I think I've seen a Metagross in one of these matches. Stuff that resists these Pokemon will do very well for you. Metagross probably doesn't have a great matchup against Galarian Slowking, which is why I think overall, you know, Slowking is very good. It resists, it has the subtyping of Poison, so it will resist the Fairy type moves. But then again, it has Surf and Shadow Ball, which I think are just much better moves, and Hex hits for super effective on so many different Pokemon, so I think Slowking is definitely the way to go. But they've got their Bruxfish here, and we do reach the high horsepower before they're able to get off a move, which is beautiful. This will just deliver this fish into the ocean, I guess, and we're going to go straight Body Slam on this thing. I think we won CMP tie right here as well. So yeah, this is just super tough for the opponent here. They go for the CMP, and of course the Galarian Slowbro is going to come in and farm down, and that's going to be a GG guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, drop a sub on the channel. It is absolutely free, and you will get videos that you enjoy in your sub box every single day. This sludge bomb was overkill, but I just decided to go for it anyway, and good games to the Malamar, and good games, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, drop a sub, and I'll catch you all in the next one.